Man, this case keeps getting stranger and stranger. We got some breaking news when it comes to the Bryan Kohberger case. This court documents just dropped, found it on Twitter on Sleuthy Goosey's Twitter page. If you're not following her, I highly recommend. She's dropping down a lot of court documents. Let's review them. This is one that it comes from the Second Judicial Court in and for the county of Washoe, the state of Nevada. Now, before we get into it, I want to remind everybody to please hit that like and subscribe button and ring that notification bell. That way you're notified when we have breaking news and things of that nature. So let's get into this. The state of Idaho plaintiff versus Bryan Kohberger. This is a stipulation and request for order. Comes now Kelly Ann Valoria, ESQ, which is the attorney for Bethany Grace Funke. She is the one representing her. She's the family attorney. We kind of went over who she was prior to. It says, on behalf of Bethany Grace Funke and Evelyn Grosnick, which is the intern Washoe County Public Defender, on behalf of defendant Bryan Kohberger, and jointly stipulate that the subpoena issued April 11, 2023, commanding Bethany Grace Funke to appear before Second Judicial Court of the state of Idaho, County of Latah County, Moscow, Idaho, on June 28th, 2023 shall be withdrawn and or quashed, and that Bethany Grace Funke should be released from the subpoena. The basis for the stipulation is that Bethany Grace Funke, through her attorney, has agreed to an interview with Idaho Defense Counsel in Reno, Nevada, in lieu of proceeding forward with and then the rest of this is redacted. Subpoena for preliminary hearing is now set for June 26th through June 30th. And we have a sign-in date. This is signed April 26, 2023. So the main thing about this is that they have agreed to speak to each other in referencing what possible explicatory or exonerating evidence that she may have that could clear Bryan Kohberger of any wrongdoing in this case. You know, we've talked extensively on this. I think I put out a video. And in fact, at the end of this video, I'll make sure that you can click on that page. And that way you can watch that video after this one. But we talked about how when it comes to Bethany, that what type of evidence could she possibly be in, hold or have. I know there's been some rumors and speculation that's gone out there that she saw somebody running naked outside of the back of the house. I, for one, don't really believe in that story. It doesn't make any sense. Plus, even if it were true, let's just say that she saw a naked guy run out of the house. Unless she says that person was not at all Bryan Kohberger, and I can't identify who that person was, that doesn't exonerate Bryan Kohberger. Just because she saw some naked guy run out of the back of the house, could that naked person have been Bryan Kohberger? And so that evidence doesn't necessarily, in my opinion, exonerate him. However, if she can identify somebody else as being the possible actor in this situation, for instance, maybe perhaps she heard voices and maybe she recognized one of the voices as somebody that she knew that isn't Bryan Kohberger. Perhaps maybe she did see somebody run out the back or somebody run out the front door. Remember, 9 a.m., it was reported that at 9 a.m. the morning of the November 13th, prior to the 911 call, neighbors had reported to news outlets. And again, we got to take that with a grain of salt, given the fact that the news outlets have been putting out some pretty wild stuff here recently and stuff that honestly, I find hard to believe. But they had put out there that the front door was wide open. Now, she was on the first floor. That front door is on the first floor. So maybe perhaps she did see somebody run out of the first door, maybe not go out towards the back like Dylan Mortenson mentioned. I still don't see how that is, that still leads people to believe that it wasn't Bryan Kohberger, whether he exited the back or whether he exited the front. I don't think it makes a difference. It has to be putting either Bryan Kohberger somewhere else. Maybe perhaps she left. I know there's a lot of rumors that she left with him somewhere. I'm not necessarily in favor of that, but it's possible if he went and picked her up and then he went back at 9 o'clock and dropped her back off. I still think that is highly unlikely, but is it possible? Yes. Or perhaps maybe she put somebody else in that house. Maybe somebody that had motive. I know that motive has been a big concern for a lot of you guys when it comes to this case. What is Bryan Kohberger's motive in this case? Is it just that the fact that he dislikes women? He had been turned down by women. He had been a lot of things. And from all of our information that we have now, he sent message requests or had slid into the DMs of some of these victims, or at least one of them. And those messages may not have ever been read. So I don't know if he's ever actually been turned down by these women. And so, if he's been turned down by other women, there's not a trail of young ladies in that area, just this one, right? And so maybe perhaps she heard somebody, who, an ex-boyfriend of someone or a current boyfriend of somebody else. Who knows? We have to tune in and watch, because I think, that's, at this point, that's all we can do. Everything else is speculation. But when it comes to exonerating evidence and the fact that she's agreed to meet up with their attorneys to kind of go over what it is that she knows, this looks more and more favorable in the direction of Bryan Kohberger. Not to mention, there's a couple of things that have come out. You have, after the filing for, trying to talk to Bethany, which was, I think, March 22nd. There was the Giglio thing that happened on 24th. Also, there was a motion for more disclosure or evidence, right? And discovery, I'm sorry. And that came also after the March 22nd, paperwork that we had referencing wanting to subpoena Bethany Funke as a material witness for the defense. There's more and more evidence leading in the direction that maybe perhaps law enforcement hid something in this case. We've seen it before. They hid the body cam footage when it came to Stickergate. They had a couple of guys that were putting stickers on a pole with in protest of the masks during the C-19 situation that was going on back in 2020. And police officers hid the body cam footage and lied under oath when it came to that case. I said at that point, if they're willing to do that and hide certain things for a sticker, what are they willing to do for a quadruple homicide? You guys let me know in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know what you think this exonerating evidence could possibly be. Don't forget, guys, tonight we have Christy, friend of Amy Malavik, on the show. We're going to be talking about the cold case of Amy Malavik. We spoke earlier this week in referencing possible persons of interest. I highly recommend going and checking that out. That being said, we'll see you guys tonight. Peace.